Don't let your dream job turn into your worst nightmare. Yes, sometimes our dreams come true, but in the end, it doesn't turn out to be something very pleasant. If you want to know what I am talking about, listen to this recap. Beware of spoilers. This story begins with Shen sitting in her room. There, she checks an email notification stating she failed her talent audition, which leaves her feeling just a little bit sad. She is determined to find her way in the industry. At dawn, with great optimism, she heads to another studio to speak directly with the television agents and try to position herself in the world of entertainment. And there, in one of the channel's offices, the directors Yu and Lian receive Shen and ask her to introduce herself. She begins to tell them a little bit about her life and her passion for music. In the middle of the story, she explains to them that she has not managed to pass the auditions, but she has no intentions of giving up. For this reason, she leaves her resume with them, hoping that they will hire her at the channel. Well, if she cannot become a professional singer, at least she wants to work with something related to music. Lian acts a little rude toward Shen, and he even thinks that she is a simple fan who wants to sneak into the channel just to be near the artists and nothing more. Yu, upon seeing Lian's attitude, tries to defend Shen and be much more understanding. At that moment, Shen shows them that she is qualified to work there, and although Lian continues to doubt, Yu tells him that they are going to consider her to give her a chance. On leaving the office, one of the workers asks her for help moving some boxes. Kindly, Shen offers to help him, but they accidentally enter the film set and the director becomes furious because they have interrupted the session. Boxu defends them and demands a little respect for them. Upon placing the box in its spot, Shen greets Boxu and asks him if he perhaps does not remember her. He stares at her and tells her that no, he does not remember her, and to excuse him because he is not in his best mood. Upon leaving the film set, one of the girls asks Shen if she can help her repair her boss Qing's computer. Then Shen nods and heads off to do her job. When Qing enters her office, she did not expect that Shen would be there. Annoyed, she looks her in the eyes and asks her who she is. On this channel, it seems like everyone is hostile. Shen then introduces herself and informs her that she was only repairing her computer. After this, Qing asks her to leave her office and asks her for her name one more time with a very imposing character. Later, when Shen leaves the channel, she receives a message from her best friend asking her what had happened, to which she replies that she will tell her later. So later, both of them meet up and her best friend Yuan has a surprise prepared for her. So she asks her to close her eyes and follow her. And upon opening them, she realizes that there is a path of roses. She encourages her, telling her that soon all her dreams will come true, and they both share a smile. The next day, Boxu was trying to practice a rap song, and he asks his assistant to listen to him. Then he asks her what she thinks of the song. Faced with this, she tells him that she does not understand anything, which makes the song not exciting. There, Boxu asks her if she is sure she did not feel anything. She offers him an apology because, in reality, she does not know much about music. Insistent, he tells her that it does not matter if she knows about music or not, but that she simply tell him if she thinks the song is good or not. Faced with this, his assistant agrees and says that the song sounds good. At nightfall, Shen and Yuan begin to talk about everything that happened to Shen at the channel. Since Yuan is a fan of Boxu, she is very excited to know what he's like. Upon hearing this, Shen explains to her that she has nothing to admire, because Boxu is a little arrogant. So she reminds her that artists are not always what they appear to be on television. Yes, very true. In another scene, Qing complains to her husband Hao that he is managing the channel poorly. He has nothing but Boxu as his main artist, and he has shown to have little talent and very bad habits. In the middle of the argument, Hao defends Boxu and tells his wife that he does not understand why she is so set against him if she was also a singer once and committed many mistakes. In response, Qing tells him that that is precisely what she is trying to avoid, that the artist's mistakes sink her channel in such a competitive moment. A week later, Qing calls Shen so that she can begin to work there. Then, very excited, Shen runs to tell the news to Yuan and prepares for her first day of work. Once there at the channel, she enters the office of the director Lian. He, curious, looks at her and asks her what brings her there again. Immediately, Shen explains to him that Qing hired her and that today is her first day. And so, when Lian found out that Qing had hired her, he begins to recognize her talent and decides to send her to Boxu's department to fulfill a task. Upon entering Boxu's department, he thinks that Shen is an intruder or a paparazzi. At that, she explains to him that now they are colleagues, and that Lian sent her to tell him not to publish things about him on the Weibo or WeChat platforms. After this, Boxu gets annoyed and sends word to Lian that he does not care about his threats and that he hopes that he will be brave enough to face him face to face and not send messages through anyone. Such a diva, this Boxu! 1 hour later, Lian calls Shen to his office and shows her that Boxu made another post against him. At that instant, he doubts that Shen had delivered his message to Boxu and asks her for an explanation. When she tells him what happened, Lian does not believe her and threatens to fire her. In addition, he tasks her with deleting the post and convincing Boxu to obey him, or that will be her first and only day at the company. And so Boxu tries to make another post against Lian, but upon entering his account, a notification appears that reflects that the password has been updated. Later, Lian, his assistant, and Yu summon Shen to a special meeting. They demand that she confess what it was that she did so that Boxu would stop making the posts. We know that his personality is very arrogant and that he would not give up just like that. And poor Shen, with a little bit of shame, confesses to them that she hacked his account and that she changed the password. While everyone discusses the situation, Boxu opens the door and confronts Lian. However, he has no choice but to acknowledge that he is wrong and follow Lian to his office, and after this, you congratulate Shen for having solved everything so quickly. Then, Shen decides to send a message to Yuan about everything that is happening to her at the office. There, she receives a call from Boxu posing as some superior and summoning her to the channel's recording room. When Shen naively obeys the order and visits the room, she realizes that it was Boxu who had called her. In the room, Boxu, very annoyed, asks Shen if it was she who hacked his account. Faced with this, she, a little bit nervous, explains to him that she felt pressured by her bosses because they had threatened to fire her and she had not come up with any better idea than to hack his account to avoid leaving the company. After this, she clarifies to him that in 3 months he will be able to recover his password and continue using his account without the need to publish things against Lian. Everything is all sweet in a love and peace plan, but Boxu, before leaving the room, tells her that he is going to do everything in his power so that they fire her and that she can never work in the industry again. However, Shen takes the courage to confront him and clarifies to him that he needs to learn to defend himself like a man instead of publishing silly ideas on his account. And to top it off, she reminds him that she has nothing to do with his problems with Lian. At that moment, Shen realizes he was yelling at Boxu, so he tries to calm down and tells him to put himself in her place. She has nothing against him, but it is necessary that she keep her job, and changing the password was the only possible solution. In addition, she tries to let him know that the world does not revolve around him, and that the company can also be harmed by his behaviors. In the end, if the company sinks, his career does too. At noon, Boxu meets with his father. He greets him with great affection and asks him about his musical projects. So he begins to tell him how everything is going. After this, his father begins to show him that it is time for him to abandon music and that he follow the family businesses that he has built. Upon hearing this, Boxu reminds him that he is not interested in money or power, rather he wants to make music and travel the world. He explains to him that he has been working very hard for his dreams to give up right now. Upon seeing that his father does not understand his position, Boxu avoids continuing the fight because he knows well that his father has high blood pressure and the situation is not very healthy for him. Back at his apartment, Boxu begins to remember the conversation with his father and all the things that he has achieved thanks to his career. Although he knows very well where he wants to get, deep down he does care about whether or not to disappoint his father. At dawn, while Shen is at her desk, she begins to take some photographs. Her supervisor notices that she is not busy, so she sends her to get an order on the floor below. There, she takes one more photo and publishes it. Minutes later, Hao gets into the elevator with Rang, an investor, and the employees begin to notice that they are going to the office together. She tries to flirt with Hao, but he maintains his composure. In Hao's office, she begins to pressure him to invest more in the business. She suggests that he ask Boxu's father to invest, because he has so much money that there is no reason for him to say that he cannot. Faced with this, Hao explains to her that they are not very well off economically, but that they do not need the investment from Boxu's father. Then, the investor begins to talk about numbers with Hao. She insists that if he does not find investors soon, they will go under. Hao then asks her to invest, since she is doing very well in business, to which she agrees only under one condition, that he has an affair with her. What an incredible offer that turns out to be. Later, at nightfall, Boxu begins to record a song. Since it is not the style he likes, the team realizes it and demands that he do it with more emotion. Furthermore, they ask him not to forget the lyrics of the song and to also improve his breathing. Upon hearing all that, Boxu tells them that he is doing the best he can and that he is not the one who chooses how to sing. There, he shows them how he would do it in his own style and uses a rap version to prove it. Although they like it, they demand that he go back to singing as he did at the beginning. Back at the office of Hao, Qing arrives to complain to him that Rang was flirting with him. He replies that she is only an investor and that she has nothing to worry about. Later, Boxu appears at a press conference. There, they ask him if the rumors are true that his father is going to invest to make him more popular, and he, in a bad mood, denies everything. Then they ask him if there is someone behind him keeping him in first place, to which Boxu cannot respond. The press conference overwhelms him so much that he has a panic attack and almost faints right there. If you want to know if the boy recovers from that panic attack or if the company rises again, you will have to wait for the next part. I am Ms. Rezaman, and thank you very much for watching us. Do not forget to subscribe, leave your like, comment, and activate notifications. Bye-bye.